Hello! So today I'm going to teach you how to make a Peruvian dish called causa. The history about causa is that it was used in order to raise funds for causes. The word causa, cause. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need 20 potatoes. You can use 10, but you see what 20 potatoes does. And what I do is I peel them, so that's going to be a little time consuming. Right now I am defrosting chicken in water. Defrosting chicken because that's going to be the inside of my causa. I'm using a little bit of lemon pepper right there. I'm using a little bit of salt, a little bit of Morton salt. Instead of mayonnaise, I'm going to use garbanzo beans and I'm going to make hummus. So instead of mayonnaise, I'm going to use hummus. I'm going to use Berlotti's olive oil, which I love. It's reasonably inexpensive. I'm going to use a little bit of turmeric in order to give it that yellow tint to the potatoes. I'm going to use 4 limes, or limones, it's named differently in Peru. I'm going to use 4 limes in order to give it like a lemon taste to it. I'm going to use a little bit of tapatio, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a kick. I'm also going to use tahini. What is it? Tahini is basically what gives hummus that little taste of flavor. You only have to use a teaspoon. And I might use a secret ingredient, garlic. Especially during this season, cold season, you want to throw in some garlic in everything that you do. I say so. That's it that we have going on. So I'm boiling my chicken. I'm going to use a mix. Basically, what you want to do is you want to serve it cold. The way it's going to look, it's going to be a bottom layer of potato, then it's going to be a layer of chicken, and then it's going to be another layer of potato. So it's going to be, and then you can segment it, and you can kind of serve it as it would look like a sandwich. It's actually kind of cool. So that's that. So let's get started in challah bread. So we're going to hope it doesn't get too steamy. And I am going to make the hummus for the causa that I'm making. So I'm going to need a blender, and then I'm going to open up the can of, and I'm going to drain the water. I don't want the water from it. I don't really like that canned water stuff. So I'm going to drain it. I'm going to drain it. I'm going to throw it in there. This one does not open with a drip off, so I'm going to have to get a little can opener. I'm using 2 cans. That should be more than enough. You can add this computer. With Brad Armisen reference. I teach you computer. I teach you laptop. Brad Armisen is my total hero. I totally love him. He is amazing. Amazing. So, okay. So there we go. So we have our 2 cans of garbanzo beans. Now you ask yourself, how much of the tahini do I place? Well, I say just a tablespoon. Just a little tablespoon. And then there you go. There's your tahini in there. And then you say to yourself, how much oil do I place? Well, there's 2 ways that you can do this. You can either, I put this little thing of water. It's about an ounce. No, that's not an ounce. What am I saying? That's not an ounce. That's like, I don't know how much that is. I don't measurement. But you see my hand. It's about the size of my hand. A little bit of water. Throw that in there. Then, I'm going to take some olive oil, because I don't want to use that much olive oil. I don't want to use that much oil. And I'm going to fill that up about halfway. I'm going to fill that up about halfway. A little bit more. That's a lot of olive oil. I want it to be olive oily. There we go. And it's probably going to come out a little bit watery, now that I think about it, because of the water. But we'll see. I'm going to take 2 lemons. I'm going to take a little Tabasco, just a slab. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Tabasco. Actually, we're going to do 5 because 5 is a magical number for transformation. And then I'm going to cut my lemon, or my limes, as you Americans call it. I'm going to cut my limes. I am going to squeeze them onto the little container thing that I had earlier, that I was showing you, that it's about the size of my hand. It's about, I would say, half a cup. Yeah, about half a cup of water, half a cup of oil, half a cup of lemon juice. And there you go. You have everything combined. So let's see what happens. Let's see. This is all experimentation. See, I was making rice earlier today. Not today, but you know. Alright, so we're going to put that on. We're going to get the lid. With the lid, there's a lid. And then make sure that it's tight, because sometimes and then we're going to turn it on. See, it's liquidy, and I like that. I put too much water. I shouldn't have put that much water. I'm going to put 1 more can of garbanzo beans. That's going to be a lot of hummus. I might not have to use all of it, but I do work out. I don't know if you can tell, but this protein can make use out of it. So, whatever I can for garbanzo beans. Garbanzo beans are great for you. But it's not really blending that much. Like, you want it to be like really puree. One thing that I did forget, garlic. So I'm gonna throw that in there. Now another thing that you could do is with the chicken and the hummus, you could add one red onion to give it a little bit of kick. So now that the potatoes are done, I'm going to smash them up. And I'm not gonna make, it's not like mashed potatoes. It's more like because we're not using any kind of milk or anything like that. We're actually gonna use a little bit of olive oil to make them calm down. Simmer down now. So what I'm doing is I'm squeezing the potatoes, and if you can tell through the fog, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm gonna mix it up, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if you can see. It's a little cloudy, but I have smushed the potatoes, so they're in here. They're very cloudy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a trusty little measuring thing. I'm gonna take 2 lemons again. I'm gonna cut them. If this thing's very time consuming, well, it's worth it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It's worth it. It's delicious and it's amazing. You don't want to miss it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squeeze the lemons into a little bowl, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon pepper, or like a teaspoon of lemon pepper. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, or like a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm gonna add the olive oil. You can't really see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Then I'm gonna add a teaspoon of olive oil. Well, I'm gonna add the rest of the cup of olive oil, and I'm gonna mix it in there together. And for the flavoring, I'm gonna add the turmeric. For the coloring, I'm gonna add turmeric. That's what I'm gonna do. It's an interesting little concoction we've got going on here. And then I'm gonna pour that into my potato. I'm gonna let it mix in. I'm gonna mix it up together. It's still a little hot. I usually would do it with my hands, but it's a little hot right now. I'm gonna put a little bit more olive oil, and maybe even a little bit of this, the hummus sauce, just to mix it all up together and have it bond with the elements. Oh, wow, slippery. So you're seeing. So you mix. Smells delicious. Ah. And like I said before, I'm gonna use this spatula to mix it up together. You might need actually a little bit more lemon and a little bit more olive oil, just because it's actually starting to look like I want it to look. And then you want to put in a little bit more olive oil, add a little bit more lemon, just a smidge, and then mix it up. It's pretty mixed. Kind of looks like a little mashed potato, but it's not. And oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm gonna add pepper. I'm gonna add a little bit of ground fresh pepper. And that's what makes it. There we go. We've got a little brown pepper in there. We're gonna taste it. I need a little bit more salt. And it probably could use one more lemon, because it's not lemony enough. So, I smushed my head. I'm reaching in my bag of lemons. I put one more lemon inside, just to give it a little kick. And I bet a lot of you have were like lemon and potatoes. That sounds so weird, but trust me, it's delicious. Now, if you can tell, I actually alternated to a different container because I'm going to use the other container for the chicken. Pretty pliable, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty, like, you can take it apart. I guess that's the word would be. So, scooping up my chicken. I'm going to put it in here. let it cool for about a good half an hour. And then once it's cooled, I'm going to mix it. Well, hello again. So I have taken my chicken, I've let it cool, and I've smashed it, cut it out. I use my bare hands. That's I will. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the onions I cut up into tiny little squares. What I did is I put a little bit of water and salt, and then I drained it out just to take a little bit of the funkiness out. So I'm going to mix that in to my bowl. Then I'm going to take a spatula and I'm going to mix it all up together just so that it's interesting. And then I'm going to take some of this hummus and I'm going to pour it in there. And then I'm going to mix it. Mix it just so that it comes out very smushy and delicious. So I'm mixing it all up together. I'm mixing my concoction. And then I'm going to pour a little bit more. I'm going to save this for later. I'm going to save that one for later. So when I go to the gym, I can work out. I can have my protein. So there we go. So we've done that. Okay, now what we do is we're going to take the Pedex and I'm going to take a scoop of the potato and I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to put it in there like that. Take another scoop, put it down there, and I'm making a layer. Basically, that's what I'm doing. Is I'm making a layer with my potatoes, and it's not mashed potatoes. It's like I don't know what I would call it actually. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to smash it in there, and it's recommended to eat this cold. I'm hungry, so I'm going to probably eat it right now. So I'm going to smash it up together. When it's cold, it binds itself a little bit more. Not frozen cold, but just refrigerator cold. You know, a couple hours in the refrigerator kind of cold. So I'm making my layer on top of that. So there we go. Okay, there's that. And then now, I might add a little bit more. You can do with a little bit more. Now notice how everything is not mixed in there. So it's a little white and I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to take my sauce. I'm going to put it on top. Now, mind you, it's not mayonnaise, so isn't that kind of cool that it's not mayonnaise? And it's a little bit healthier than your regular causa. So I'm putting that on top. I'm putting all of that on top. Don't worry, I washed my hands. So I'm putting that on top. I'm putting a little bit. So basically, what you're doing, you're kind of like making a cake, actually, like chicken cake, a potato chicken cake. That's what some might call it. Okay, so there's that. I'm making an even layer. And I want it to be even, so the spatula is really great for that. And when you put it in the refrigerator, it coagulates more. It adheres itself. Whatever greasiness there was, it adheres itself to it. So there we go. You want to make even. Does it look delicious to me? It smells absolutely delicious to me. So there's that. Now, we got a lot of dishes to wash. You put a layer of potatoes on top. So there you go. So you put a layer of potato on top, and then you smash it down. This by far is one of my favorite dishes. I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit more so it's not so white. Oh, I can smell the lemon and I don't know what it is, but it's lemon and potato combined. It's just absolutely delicious. So you do that, and put another layer. You're smashing it down. You're smashing it together. You want to make it even. See, you thought to yourself, isn't that a lot of potatoes? It is. But that's how causa rolls. That's how you make causa. A delicious, healthy, well, I don't know how healthy it is. There's a bunch of potatoes. But you know what I mean. It's healthier than the original causa. Because it has hummus. Now I want to get this little thing out. I want to use all the potato. I don't want any of that potato to go to waste because Another thing that I want to talk about cooking is everything has energy. Now, if you have that consciousness that everything has energy, then you understand that everything is alive. So, when you're doing it with love, like I am right now, you will benefit because you're infusing energy of love into whatever it is that you're doing. You can make it a little bit more even than I have, but that's what it looks like. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and I am going to resist eating it. But basically, when you're done, what you can do is you can segment it and serve it as um, as a cake, you know. So I'm going to move some stuff out of the way. Come on, boys, make room. I'm gonna put you in there. I'm gonna leave you in there for, I don't know, half an hour. Oh my gosh, that potato. Oh my goodness. Just the potato alone is, just the potato alone is absolutely delicious. I can tell you that. Put the rest of my hummus away. And in a few minutes, I'll show you what it looks like. So now, the moment of truth. So this is, can you see what this looks like? So delicious. I spiced up an extra. I love it. So let's try it. Let's see. I could use a little bit more salt. Okay. But I like it. I like it the way it is. So thank you